Yo, whatever happened to Trina McGee? She was best known for Boy Meets World as Angela Moore. She dated Sean, Cora's best friend, but she said that she was not welcome on that show as we thought. Look at Topanga, man. Topanga was the most beautiful white girl that we ever loved, but they were not the best of friends. Now, y'all keep your prayers up for Topanga because now she has cancer, and I believe God will heal her. But on the show, she had to apologize because they was not as nice to Trina as we thought. Trina said in a statement, in an interview, she was called Auntie Mama, she wasn't treated right, she's experienced racism, she experienced things that was unfair, but she did her job, she kept her composure, she tried to make that bread for her family. She continued to do her job, but it was not the best as we would have thought. And it's amazing how you see things like that, and we have our childhood shows that we love, but now with social media, there's a lot of things that come out, a lot of things that are said that we be like, wow, you can't believe that it actually happened. But she did apologize. She did get it right. So now things have worked out. They're now doing things right. They're now friends and everything like that. But here's the thing. Trina came on my show. Trina came on and talked to me about what's going on and wanted to talk to me and let everybody know that she's doing well, but she wanted to say what she experienced on the show. Check it out.
And I'm going to start telling my truth. I'm going to start telling everybody what happened on Boy Meets World or my experience in Hollywood, my experience, period. And please come check it out.
The biggest responsibility in my head was to maintain who I was as a woman of African descent, and not be something I wasn't, and to stand out and to hold my ground. I remember there was an episode, a Christmas episode, where I had asked to wear a dashiki dress when I was kissing Ryder under the tree. And they said, sure, go ahead. Things like that, where I could make sure that the Black audience was identifying me as a Black woman, right, and not just kind of a kiss ass along, because I already knew the deal of the fact that I was going to be second fiddle to the white girl, because that's just how things are written. They're still written that way. We're there to advise. If you look at our history as Black women in Hollywood, we're here to advise, we're here to help, but we have no life of our own. So I really, really pushed to have a life, for Angela to have a life. I'm the one who asked for there to be 2 episodes regarding her life, and Michael said yes, and then they brought on, Julius to be my father. But these are all things that I consciously pushed for because I knew what I was up against. I was and being a little older and hadn't studied Hollywood and wanting it so bad, I knew on an all-white show the chances are I was just going to be used and not really identified, And funny enough, I want to tell you, the show when I got on it was about to be canceled. It was 52 in the ratings. Really? And I say that because, it was 52. And this is really important because these are numbers and facts, not feelings about. Right. So when the show aired, which featured me and my father and the Army, the first one, their rating shot up from 52 to 17. And then they were called on to have another season and subsequently another season. Right. So, in any event, I take that as very much a team effort. It's not an ego thing. But it did change the length of the show and the life of the show substantially, and I don't really play around with that because I think that especially people of color, when you are put in a position as we are, especially back then, where you have to work a little harder than other people, you don't let go of what you have accomplished. You have to let people know because they will pretend like it never happened.
Absolutely right. And I remember reading a couple years ago that you were told to scale back on your Blackness.
Well, let me tell you specifically what was said because, over the past year, I've said a lot of things and the press picks it up and they put words in my mouth that really aren't there. Okay. But at the same time, on this particular one, I could see how they could come to this turn down your Blackness thing. What I was told was I was doing a scene that was the scene where my father comes. And I had decided in my head, hey, my dad is here. I should be a little bit more ethnic in my speech. Because this is my father, I might not be talking like, hey, I'd be more like, hey, Dad, you know, a little bit more like that. So I guess when I was doing it, I don't know. Michael Jacobs came up to me and he whispered in my ear after one of the takes, and he said, I need you to turn down the Thelma Hopkins about 8 notches. So he didn't say turn down your blackness. Whatever he saw in Thelma Hopkins and me similarly, it's what I was supposed to turn down. I think it was just a little sassy kind of thing. But when the press picked it up, they said, oh, she was asked to turn down her blackness.
Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Listen, if you enjoy what you're hearing right now, go ahead, like, comment, and share. Like, comment, and share one more time. Like, comment, and share. It costs absolutely nothing to subscribe to this channel because it's all free. This gas ain't free, but subscribing here is free. I'm just trying to get ready so I can go back home and finish watching the DVD. All right, y'all. Peace.
Well, you know, I gotta tell you, that's always been a consideration for me on any show. I've always had to adjust my black speak or my sassiness, or either up or down, you know, according to what was going on. I did an episode of Martin, and I was more like, hey, you know, Angela didn't call for that. So, you know, there's a dichotomy between, is this person giving me direction for the character to be true to the character, or is there a need for me not to be too black? You know, I'll never know, but that's what was said.
So when he said that to you, how did you feel? Like, did you take it that way, or did you like, oh, no, you didn't? Or like, how did you really feel on this side about that?
I rarely ever got caught up on, oh, no, you didn't attitude when it came to the authorities of the show. I just felt, I more was like, oh, okay, I got the note. Great, let's go. You know, my head was in the game. So I didn't really have time to sit back, unless it's a major issue. You know, I'm not going to really sit back and be like, hey, I think, you know what I'm saying? It really was the wrong time and place to fight for all that. So I just turned down the Thelma Hopkins and kept it pushing, because our character being there was made way more important than that particular moment and what I was particularly feeling about it, you know?
Right. And that's so important that I noticed with several other actresses that played roles such as yours. They wanted to make sure they stayed true to who they were, and they wanted to send a message to Hollywood and to the viewer that, hey, I'm going to stay who I am. I'm not going to change. Yes, you can date outside your race and stay who you are. Now, you know, of course, we got this guy now named Dr. Umar Johnson that really hates everything to do with, mixed relationships or whatever. And he said a few things that really disturbed me, that if you date outside your race, then you was never for the black community in the first place. He called out Frederick Douglass. He called out other black leaders that dated outside the race. And I'm just like, dude, you can't help who you love.
Them dealt with your views on interracial marriage.
Yes, sir.
And so, so explain that for folks who did not hear it.
Certainly. Simply put, any black man who is with a woman who's not an African herself is going to have a difficult time getting respect from me. I believe black men need to be with black women. The black family is under attack. Only 1 out of every 4 black women gets married. The black woman is last likely to get married. She's the last married, the first divorced. We have, what, 2/3 of our children being raised by working class and impoverished single black female-led households. The destruction of a nation begins in the home of its families. And if we want to save black people, we have to save the black family. And in order to do that, black men have to commit themselves to black women.
So when you talk about not getting your respect, so if that's the case, you're saying President Barack Obama to get your respect because his dad married a white woman?
Oh, not at all.
Would Harry Belafonte?
Not at all. I want to be very clear about something. As Pan-Africanists, the product of an interracial union is an African. I have heroes who are biracial. Some of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism were of mixed racial ancestry. You don't blame a child for how they got here.
But I'm asking you this here. Harry Belafonte has a white wife. No respect for him?
It would be very. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your social status.
So no. I didn't say social. I'm talking about the one who put the work in.
Right, but you put him out.
No. I'm asking you. So Harry Belafonte.
Yes, sir.
Sidney Poitier, Julian Bond, Vernon Jordan.
And you're naming all them to say what?
No, these are all African American men who have
done some good things.
No, who married white women. But you said any black man who marries a white woman will not get your respect.
Can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
And what I'm telling you is this. I don't care who you name. I don't care how much work you did for black people. Your greatest commitment to black people is being committed to a black woman. It is still a contradiction. No matter how much you think you did for the struggle, if you really were concerned with black people, you would have committed yourself to a black woman. So it doesn't matter how successful they are. It doesn't matter how great you may claim them to be. At the end of the day, you didn't think enough about your own people to marry a woman who looks like you.
Frederick Douglass.
Yes, sir. An ancestor of mine.
So you respect Frederick Douglass?
Yes.
But he had a white wife.
He did.
So that's what I'm
gonna clarify.
Why is that in?
Oh, well, I'm gonna be a little different on this than your point of view. Okay, I do believe in dating is one thing. Okay, right. Who you love is one thing. Okay, but when you are starting a family, that's a different thing. Mm-hmm. And I do believe you have to understand. My father's line. I am Haitian. There's a lot of mixed up in there and everything. But my great grandfather was the second president of Haiti, who actually was a mulatto man. Now, I do believe in bloodline. And I do believe that if you are a brown-skinned girl, it would behoove you to marry a brown-skinned man and have babies with that brown-skinned man and keep our bloodlines and our people pure. So I do believe in that, Right. I think, but family is a community responsibility, and I think that us all thinking who you love is a bit of a luxury for where we are today as Black Americans.
True. I agree with you 100% on that. That's right.
If you want to date a white guy or like a white guy, I'm not going to trash you for it. And if you have kids for a white guy, I'm not going to judge you for it. But I'm just saying what I would do and how I get down, But white guys are great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So let's get back to Boy Meets World here. How much fun did you guys have on that cast? It looked like y'all, the chemistry was there from day one for what we saw. How much fun did y'all have on that cast?
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. And we still have a lot of fun when we get together. Like it's just an endless cracking of jokes, and we all know each other. We know each other too well, so we can make those personal jokes and everything now. We've come really a long way. And back then, I got to say, it was a little different because you got to see, I'm 10 years older than them. Right. So they had their clique and they went to school together and they did their thing and they grew up together and they really love each other from those childhood memories. And I think that's great. I really don't have a need to be a part of that at all. But as far as us getting along when we were younger, we had a lot of great times. And then we had some times that were a little bit tension for me, honestly. But right now where we're at, we've worked it out. So everybody's grown up.
Oh, that's good. So I got a question to ask you, and just be honest with me. Would you vote for Corey?
We're going to recognize our next guest. Actor Ben Savage, star of the hit 90s sitcom Boy Meets World, has officially announced his candidacy for Congress.
Savage is running as a Democrat to represent California's 30th district, which includes Hollywood. So joining us now is GMA3 exclusive interview is the man himself, congressional candidate Ben Savage. Ben, thanks so much. Welcome to GMA3.
Thank you for having me. Nice to see you both.
Good to see you. You are best known as an actor, but you studied political science at Stanford University, even interned for the late Senator Arlen Specter. You also ran for city council in West Hollywood as recently as last year. So tell us, what got you interested in politics?
It's a great question. You know what? I grew up in a household that was very passionate about politics from a very young age. That was instilled upon us as children. I grew up in a household that revered RFK, that revered JFK. When I first started running for politics, my mom gave me her John F. Kennedy button that she used to wear in elementary school, and I have that in my house now. And I think it was just always instilled in us to stand up for our community and our country and try and do the right thing on behalf of our community. So that's always been instilled in me. I'm very passionate about politics. I studied it in college, and I'm really looking forward to giving back to the community and standing up for what I think is right.
And Ben,
okay, I'm going to tell you why I would not vote for Corey.
Oh, okay. Juicy.
I knew Ben when he was a child. He was a teenager, okay? And I don't believe that his parents brought him up to respect people properly, okay? He caused a lot of tension for me on the set and for other people. But for me, really being a little older, he did a lot of things that made me feel extremely uncomfortable. Now, let's cut to him being an adult. When I met him as an adult later on when they did the sequel to the show, no, I didn't see any change in far as respecting people. And those are the things that I would think would make good politics. I don't know his politics, and I would definitely not want to say anything to derail him or his achievements or what he's trying to do. You know, I really wish him the best of luck, and I want him to be successful. But as far as my vote, no.
Wow. Okay. Woo. Okay. Sorry, Corey. We got to roll with Miss Trina on this one, bro.
As you can see, she's doing fine. She's doing well. She is now pregnant at the age of 52. She looks nothing like it. Her and her husband are celebrating another child, and she's doing fine. But we shall always remember Miss Trina McGee. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe and like this channel. It's absolutely free. Appreciate y'all. Peace.